Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Well, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you all are enjoying your week. It is a lovely day here in Austin, Texas. Of course, it's mid-June, so it's probably going to get a little hot, but that's all right, guys. Hopefully you are out enjoying it as much as you can. So, got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff, actually, really, because I went, 2 weeks without a show, almost? And then the last couple episodes, all I've really talked about is X-Men. So, there's a lot of stuff I haven't covered on the show. But, of course, you can always go over to the Facebook group and Twitter account and check stuff out. Of course, please comment, talk about it, discuss, and we can do that. So, I'm going to get into a little bit of what's been going on this week, of course. You guys fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think. So, first off, I just finished, a couple of minutes ago, the Amazon series Good Omens. Now, it's based off the book by Neil Gaiman. The show stars David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Came out about 2 weeks ago or so on Amazon, and of course it's only 6 episodes, and it took me this long to watch it, but just finished it. It's a little bit of a quirky show, I will say that, but I was very interested with the premise of it, about this demon and angel who develop a relationship and team up together to try to stop the apocalypse. Like I said, very quirky, very interesting. It's one of those things where if you go in and you watch the first episode and you're kind of on board, I think you'll be on board till the very end. If you like quirky little shows that, have a good little sci-fi or fantasy slant to it, I recommend going and checking out Good Omens on Amazon, guys. Speaking of shows I recommend, Krypton returned for its second season last night on Sci-Fi. Now, I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. Of course, you can go and catch up on the DC streaming platform, DC Universe. They released all of Season 1 on there, I think a month or two ago at least, so you can go back and rewatch that. I no longer have Hulu Live, so I don't get this show. I'm looking to maybe find another way to watch it, but I have other shows I need to catch up on. I am looking forward to it. I really loved Season 1 of Krypton. I really enjoyed it as far as a spinoff to other DC lore, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But, I'm a big Superman fan, so this season seems awesome with having Lobo and Doomsday and Zod, all of these classic Superman characters brought in there. I'm still hoping for a Green Lantern at some point. Bring in a Green Lantern. We're in the DC Cosmic Universe. A Green Lantern, I think, would fit nicely. Or even Thanagarians, like Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I think that would fit in there too. But anyway, Season 2 was last night, and it's been announced, according to the Hollywood Reporter, that they're already in talks of a spin-off series based on Krypton that's going to center around the character of Lobo. Now, for those of you who don't know, the character of Lobo hails from the planet Caesarea, which was a peaceful planet until he murdered the rest of his species. For me, I like the character of Lobo. He's a fun character to play with. I think the people who would play him best would be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and then Jason Momoa. But as of right now, the two of them are both tied up in other DC film characters, allegedly. The Rock's still up for grabs, in my opinion. But, it's something I think there's a lot more stuff to do before they get to a Lobo movie. So, looks like they're moving on to a Lobo TV series. Again, I haven't watched Season 2 yet of Krypton. I don't know how well the character is in this first episode or how he's going to be. But as soon as I figure it out, I will be sure to let you know, guys. But I like Krypton. I think I'm going to enjoy Season 2. So, if you guys have not jumped on the Krypton train, please go back, rewatch Season 1, and enjoy. Speaking of DC spinoffs, guys, there was a new trailer that came out for the show Pennyworth. Now, this is a spin-off show about the character of Alfred Pennyworth, most known for being Batman's associate, his butler, his friend, his commandant, his cohort in the battle to save Gotham City. But this takes place many years before, where he's a former Special Forces officer living in London and working for Thomas Wayne. That's right, Bruce Wayne's dad. Looks like he's trying to protect the people that are trying to hurt Mr. Wayne. Being a wealthy person, of course, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are trying to hurt Mr. Wayne and his wife. So, this wasn't horrible compared to some other Batman spin-off series. The show Gotham, every time I tried to watch it, I thought it was stupid. And I never got why they had a show with all these Batman characters and all these Batman villains, but no Batman. It was ridiculous, in my opinion, and I will go to my grave saying that. This show, I gotta say, looks a little more interesting. It's almost got kind of like a James Bond-esque style to it. Obviously, you're playing with Batman characters, but you're not playing with the Penguin or the Riddler or the villains. You're playing with, beforehand with Alfred Pennyworth and Thomas Wayne and other characters along those lines, which honestly sounds a little interesting because him starting to work for Thomas Wayne, I think you're really going to develop a friendship between those two characters throughout the years, which you'll see later on why Alfred takes really the responsibility of Bruce so seriously because of his deep friendship and relationship he had with Thomas Wayne and probably Martha Wayne as well. So that's what I got from this trailer, is that this is a show that's going to set up Alfred as being why he's so devoted to Bruce, because he's the son of his friend. So in that aspect, I think the show looks a little more interesting than something like Gotham. It's a spin-off show, but it's really not a lot tying into it. Even that aspect as well, I think it's maybe even a little more interesting, say, Krypton, which is very heavily in the Superman mythology. This looks like it's going to stand apart and be something a little different, like I said, a little more dramatic, and it might be actually pretty good. It's going to be on the Epix channel. I've never watched anything on that channel before. I don't even know what that channel is. But in any event, of course, go online, look at the trailer, let me know what you think, and of course, fire back, and we'll discuss it. Okay, next up, Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman is going to have another one of his comics made into another form of media. Apparently, Universal Pictures is partnering with Kirkman's Skybound Entertainment to bring Oblivion Song to development. Now, this is all according to Entertainment Weekly. So, in this comic published by Image, it's very early actually right now because there's only about 15 to 16 issues out. But the series begins with a mysterious incident in Philadelphia that causes 300,000 people to vanish into an alternate dimension known as Oblivion. 10 years later, a scientist named Nathan Cole makes daily pilgrimages into the site using equipment that lets him pass between worlds. Although he no longer has government support, he continues to travel into Oblivion to rescue as many people as he can. So, very heavy sci-fi slant on this. I've never read it. I've heard about it, though. It's one of those ones that when I go to read my weekly comics, I see it kind of pass by it. Being not that much of a fan of The Walking Dead, I'm nothing against Robert Kirkman because he has a few other things that are pretty good. But, again, I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead. And also, as I've confessed before, I mainly stick with the Marvel and DC stuff, which I know is a flaw. Occasionally there's a few things that I venture outside of the two main publishing companies, but for the most part I stick with them. This, of course, being Image, which, is probably one of the top 5 still. The premise of this sounds decent. Sounds like it could make a good movie. I really have no basis for it. If you guys have checked out Oblivion Song, please let me know what you think about it and if you think I should start reading it. Because the premise, doesn't sound half bad. I'm curious what this alternate dimension Oblivion is actually like. I mean, is it just like, a hellish apocalypse? or is it like, Land of the Lost? What exactly is it like? You guys, of course, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, and last subject for today. This weekend at E3, a lot of stuff was announced in the world of gaming. There was kind of that big surprise with Keanu being featured in the new Cyberpunk game. I have no idea what Cyberpunk is even, but Keanu Reeves was featured in it, so that's cool. But the main thing that really got my attention was new gameplay for the upcoming Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I first got a glimpse of this, and we all did really, back in April at Star Wars Celebration. I wasn't able to sit in on the panel. Now I wish I had been. But in this story, it's set shortly after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and you're playing as a young Jedi Padawan who's been in hiding for a while and kind of gets outed as an old Jedi, and then he goes on the run, hunted down by stormtroopers and inquisitors, and eventually, kind of finds his way into a little bit of the rebellion, it appears. So, being played by, what's his name, Cameron Monaghan. Some people know him from Gotham as the Joker or not the Joker. I'm not sure exactly how they spun that. I most know him from the show Shameless on Showtime, which he does a great job playing Ian. He's a good actor. I really like him, so I'm fully supporting him being in Star Wars and playing whatever character he wants to play because I think he is good enough to do whatever he needs to do. In this, he's playing the character of Cal, the fallen Padawan, and the gameplay was 13 minutes long that they showed, and I gotta say, it looks awesome. It looks so awesome to where, I talked to my wife immediately afterwards, and I'm like, hey, we might have to pick up a PS4 because I got to play this game. It looks very similar to, Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed, back in the day with Sam Witwer. I'm not a big gamer. I think we have our Wii and we have our PS3. So as far as updated gaming systems, don't have a lot. But for this, anytime I can play as a Jedi and go through and just like wreck shit, which it looks like you get to do in this game, I'm all for it. Plus, stories. I'm not a fan of the Battlefront, the kind of free play, online, you get to be a character, go around the internet, and just shoot people. No. I mean, the Battlefront 2, they did have that story mode with, Iden Versio. I watched that, but again, I don't want to be a trooper. I want to be a Jedi, okay? I want to live that fantasy life, so to speak. So this game seems right up my alley, enough to where, again, like I said, I might actually buy a PS4 just to play this game. But it looks cool, and also, of course, it looks like it's in that Star Wars mythology. You have Saw Gerrera, a character who's, very well known and very much active during the events between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One / A New Hope. We see him featured in Star Wars Rebels as well. And it's cool they got Forrest Whitaker to come back and do some voiceover for this character too, which I find interesting. You also have a K2 unit in there, K2SO from Rogue One. Yes, he's an Imperial-style droid that was reprogrammed to work for the Rebellion, which means all the other K2 units work for the Imperials. So you get to see that and kind of get that flash of K2SO in there. And the second sister, aka the Inquisitors, going back to Rebels and other aspects of Star Wars mythology. Looks like the second sister is going to be maybe the main villain that's hunting down Cal in this one. And he's also got his little droid. What is it? BD-1 is the name of the droid. Another cute droid. We all love cute droids in the Star Wars universe. Hopefully it'll be a great addition. But like I said, I sat down and I watched, the 13 minutes. I watched the trailer for it too. I'm on board with this, Again, I get to play as a Jedi. I get to go through and slice up some stormtroopers, use some Jedi powers. I'm all for it. The better thing is, of course, if it has a really good story, which it appears like it might be pretty decent. Again, going back to The Force Unleashed, I really enjoyed the story of it all. So if this game can give me, something like that, I'm all for it. So that's awesome. Let me know what you guys think about Jedi Fallen Order. Are you planning on playing? Are you not interested? Share your thoughts for me, and of course, we'll talk about it. Alright guys, well that is it for me today. I gotta go get ready for work and of course get on with my life. One thing I of course forgot. This weekend, the new movie coming out, Men in Black International, starring Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. They're trying to reboot the Men in Black franchise. I get it. Totally understandable. But early reviews saying it's not great. I'll probably go see it on Tuesday, so next Thursday I should be able to share my feelings about it. But of course, after reviews, I'm not looking forward to it. I like Chris Hemsworth. I like Tessa Thompson. I like the concept of Men in Black, and I really enjoyed that first Men in Black film with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones all those years ago. So again, I'm not expecting much from it, but I'll go check it out just because I like everyone and everything it's involved with. But if you guys go see it, of course, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know what you think. And that's going to be it, guys. Like I said, go out, enjoy your weekend, and until next time, may the Force be with us all.